Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. I'm going to tell you about a coincidence that occurred lately. So, a week or two ago, I was having dinner with my friend Nick, and he brought along his friend Aileen, who knows me from the world of crosswords, and she mentioned the Times Crossword Championship. And the last time she'd watched a video on the channel was when I explained the last time I lost the Times Crossword Championship and what went on, what went through my mind. This was. Aileen thought it was a year ago. It was actually just over 2 years ago. And she then said, then you solved a Sudoku. It had a special number in it. Was it 89 or 91? And I mean, I'm afraid I could not remember. It didn't occur to me. I thought, was it a Phistomefel ring, something to 91 or something? I couldn't remember at all. I couldn't answer her question. I didn't know. I mean, I've solved at least 800 videos on the channel since then, and probably another 1,000 or more Sudokus as well. So it's not that shocking that my memory didn't allow me to access that. I could still remember exactly what went wrong in the Times Crossword Championship, mind you. But the coincidence then occurs because I was looking up today's constructor, not that it matters. I thought we'd solved his puzzles recently on the channel. Turns out the last one was that video which mentioned the crossword in it and went on to solve his puzzle called 91. And it was using Horner's formula, a mathematical thing that I had never heard of before then and haven't heard of since then. And today looks a bit mathematical in terms of the rule set too. So we'll see how I get on. I don't have a maths A-level or degree or anything like it, but we'll see how we do. Anyway, I thought that was a very odd coincidence that just researching today's puzzle led me straight to this video that I hadn't thought of once in 2 years and that Aileen mentioned last week. But there we go. Brilliant. Right. Enough waffle. I do remember that Not That It Matters had some family health problems. I doubt they're resolved, but I wish his family well. Right. Now, we'll consider the rules of this in a moment. They're a bit scary, frankly, but first of all, I do want to tell you that if you like the crossword stuff, Patreon is a great place to go. We've got loads of crossword videos, my monthly club special, Simon solving listener crosswords and stuff, and also there's gridogram and connections videos, and the monthly Sudoku hunts, loads of extra Sudoku. So do check out Patreon. We'd love you to join us there. Also, Sven's Sudoku pad is linked under the video. Support Sven. There's all of our apps, including Killer Sudoku and the latest Classic Sudoku 2 and the Worms. Loads of links under the video. But the first one is to this puzzle by Not That It Matters, which I think has been recommended to us over the last year. And it's taken us a while to get around to it, but here we are. It's called Key Performance Parameters, a phrase that takes me horrifyingly back to HR in the days when I used to go into an office. Thank goodness I don't do that anymore. Please support us on Patreon. Anyway, I don't know what the relevance of the phrase is, but I'm going to try and explain the rules. You can play this on the link below the video, the first one if you want. Normal Sudoku rules apply. 1 to 9 is to go in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Each cage is filled with digits which sum to a prime number, such as 2, 3, 5, 7, etc., raised to a positive integer power, such as 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And no two cages have the same sum. We've also got a marked diagonal. Digits can't repeat on that, so that's a set of the digits 1 to 9. I wonder that Not That It Matters has chosen to make that a dotted line when there are so many dotted lines in the puzzle, but not my call. Right, I mean, this is an understandable thing. I know what a prime number is, and I know what a positive integer power is. 2 to the power of 3, for instance, is 8. You know, that's not complicated maths, and maybe there is no complicated maths. No two cages have the same sum. Okay, I don't know how to do this, but let's find out together, and let's get No, I'm going to quickly mention, I was using a spreadsheet recently to do a listener crossword, a listener mathematical. Every quarter they do a mathematical puzzle. And that involved several 9-digit numbers, which were prime numbers raised to prime powers, I think. So I'm not going to say I know anything about this now, but I might need a spreadsheet. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, let's get cracking and see what we do. We have got, what have we got? We've got 2 given digits in the grid. Much good may they do us. We haven't really got any clues. Okay, there are some 1-cell cages. These all have to have different values. There's only 4. In the rule set, the constructor has listed the 4 single-cell prime numbers, which are 2, 3, 5, and 7. But there are some powers there as well. 4, 8, and 9 are powers of primes. So there are 7 possible candidates for these 6 cells, and they'll all be different. And that's a bit less helpful than I was expecting, if I'm honest. Do you know what? It's really, I mean, there's a lot of these. We've got to have a list. I think we've got to have a list. So I'm going to weary you now by bringing some Excel into my screen. Here's some Excel. There, that's good. We probably don't need quite so much of it. Let's do that. I know it might be obscuring the rules, or I might have remembered to shorten the rules. Anyway, now I am going to list the prime numbers. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29, 31. We don't have to go beyond 45 because none of these cages breaks any box boundaries. So they're all confined within a box, and we know that a box can only add up to 45. Now, there are some powers that we have to consider. 4, 8, 16, 32. Sorry, you may not be able to see all that. 9, 27. I think I have to put these. Oh, that's all there are. We don't have to worry about 7 squared because that's over 45. Right, I'm going to rejig this so that these numbers are all in numerical order. That's what I'm going to do. This might be the wrong thing to do. This might be an absolutely boring way of tackling this puzzle. I don't know, but it's the way I'm tackling it. And you can put it down to my poor maths if you're just looking at it going, why don't you just get on with filling the grid? But I can't do that until I've looked at this list. Now we're putting in the powers here, trying not to forget any of them. There we go. So it's not actually that long a list. There are 21. Can you see it all? Yes. There are 21 possible cage totals. How many cages are there in the puzzle? 2 in box 1. I'm just going to look at the boxes. 2 more is 4. Then 4 in box 3, that's 8. 2 in the next box, that's 10. 3 in the next one, 13, 15, 17, 19. There's 21 cages in the puzzle. Right, that's good. And this was well worth doing. This is now definitely a list of the cage totals that appear in the puzzle. This is the full list. And what I'm going to do next is say, what is the difference? There are 2 of these boxes. Let's just color them for a second. That are 1 cell and 8 cells. Now, the 8-cell cage is going to add up to somewhere between 36 and 45. I should share with you the secret that every box in a Sudoku adds up to 45, because it's the sum of the digits from 1 to 9. So one of those digits goes in here. It's either 2, 3, 5, 7, 4, 8, or 9. And then the rest of the thing is made up of these, which has to be a number on this list. Right, in those the two yellow 8-cell cages have to be between 36 and 45. And they have to be 37, 41, or 43. Now, what I was going to do is subtract, and I'm going to, these numbers from 45. And see if we get a number on the list. Because if we don't, let's delete the ones that aren't on our list of primes. 14, for instance. 16 is, I mean, it's not just primes, it's primes and powers of primes. 18, 20, I can delete those. 22, 26, 28. 32's on the list. 34 isn't. 36 isn't. 37, 41, 43. So these yellow boxes are made up of 2 cage totals from our list, and they're either a 2 and 43 pair, a 4 and 41, or an 8 and 37 pair. Now, the reason that I didn't only focus on the single cell cages is because I've noticed there's another box with 2 cages completely filling it. Actually, there are 2 of them. Oh, it's all symmetrical, isn't it? Gosh, it really is. Look at the symmetry around this diagonal. It's absolutely complete in this puzzle. Oh, I'm beginning to realize this is a marvelous puzzle. And I don't even know how to solve it at all. But these two these 2 boxes both add up to 45 across 2 of our cages from our list as well. So maybe we can narrow these down. I mean, there aren't that many pairs because my list is basically repeating the pairs from the top and the bottom. There are 5 possible pairs that can fill these 4 cages. And in each case, 29 and 16, 32 and 13, 37 and 8, 41 and 4, 43 and 2, the larger cage is going to be the bigger number. There's no way these small cages could go above 16. Oh, here's an interesting thought. Look at all the caged cells in the grid. There's not many uncaged cells in the grid. What if we were to find that the total of our... We know I've highlighted the area of all the cages. We can immediately deduce its total. Can you see... you can see if I put in the sum formula. Oh, that's what we wanted. 402 is the sum of all the cage totals in the grid, because we know there are only 21 different cage totals available. We know that the grid has the 21 cages. And therefore, the sum of all of these cages is 402. Now, I know by virtue of the secret that each box adds up to 45, I have many times in the past multiplied 45 by 9 to find out the total of a Sudoku grid. And 45 times 9 is 405. You subtract 402 from that, you're left with 3. And we've got 3 cells to add up to 3. So those are 1s. I think you definitely need to do this. I'm not going to say you need to do this puzzle with a spreadsheet. I am going to say you need to do it with a list of the available numbers. And I'm not ashamed to do that. And I'm not ashamed to feature a puzzle on the channel that needs that. Oh, and look at these boxes now. Right, we need a different color. Let's make them blue. These boxes add up to, well, the cages in those boxes add up to 44. So let's go back to our spreadsheet. 44 is the total. And if we subtract the original cage total possibilities from 44, these blue areas are going to be made up of pairs that we're allowed to make from the 44 list. So I think I typed 44 in there by mistake in the first instance. 1 is not on the list, 3 is, 7 is, 12 is not. 30, oh, this is annoying. Lots of these are on the list. 17, 19, no, 21 isn't, 25 is, 27, we're going to run out of them in a moment. 31, 37 is the next one, then 41 and 43. Okay. I don't know, what does that mean? Well, hang on, because, right, we said that yellow and purple had to be using 4 of these 5 pairs. So the blue cages, I reckon, have to be using 3 sets of pairs that the yellow and purple cages aren't using. Now, one of these highlighted ones is available. And then they've got to use... the annoying thing is 13 is repeating in both lists. 27, 17 is a possibility for a blue cage. No, this is complete. The possibilities for the blue cages are to use one of these 5 pairs, Sorry, I'm trying to highlight those 5 pairs. The blue cages can use one of those 5 pairs and 2 others. Oh, but 30, right, we can't guarantee that those 2 pairs are involved. I know, maybe we can. There's something odd about 13 repeating with 31 and 32. Because 13 can only appear once in this puzzle as a cage total. So it's fine to go, it could go in any colour of cage. Well, not yellow actually, because 13 can't be a single cell total. But it could go in purple or it could go in blue. If it goes in purple, it goes with a sum of 32 in the other purple cage. If it goes in blue, there's a sum of 31 in the other blue cage. But it can only appear once. So only one of those 31 or 32 totals, can appear in blue or purple. And neither can appear in yellow. So where does the other cage that sums to 31 or 32 go? It can't go here because that's only 4 cells. They all have to be different. 30 is the max. This one, I'm going to make it green. This is 31 or 32. And therefore these 2 cells add up to, okay, we don't know, 14 or 13. Could be 14 if it was 9 and 5, or 13 if it was 9 and 4, or 5 and 8. But green is 31 or 32. I wish I knew a way of marking this. But now blue can contain one of these pairings but only one. Yeah, these pairings that I've just highlighted don't all exist in the puzzle, in the sense that whichever one of 31 or 32 appears in green is not in one of these pairings that sort of fill a box or fill 9 or 8 cells of a box. The central box doesn't count because there's only 7 cells in the bigger cage. Anyway, okay, no, the way to look at it is, of the big digits here, 29, 31, 32, 37, 41, 43, 1 is green, 2 are yellow, 2 are purple, and 1 can be blue. Only 1 can be blue of those numbers. And therefore the other 2 blue boxes need to use the other blue pairs that are available. I think this is right. And I think these pairs are blue. So I think what I could do is highlight in blue. Oh, bother. I don't know how to do this now. Oh, up here. Highlight those numbers in blue. They must be blue cages in this puzzle. Oh, no, there isn't a problem. There's nearly a problem. You can't put those 4 numbers I've just highlighted in these boxes because only one of these 2-cell cages can be 17 and neither of them can be 19 or 25 or 27. But luckily we've got this cage down here which could have 19 and 25 in. I think it probably does therefore, but yeah, I think it does. I'm now just worried about the number 23. Because everything else is either in these pairs or is a very low number, like 5 or 9, that can fit in 1-cell cages. Oh, I see. 23 is going to be one of the numbers in this cage. It is actually going to be one of the numbers in this cage. Right. This cage needs a colour. This box needs a colour. Let's make it orange. Actually, let's make this whole box green. 23 is going to be orange. That is what I now claim. Because we've run out of possible colours that it could be. This lot includes 4 purple cages, 4 yellow cages, 2 blue cages, 1 green cage, and no orange cages, therefore. Therefore, 23 is going to be an orange cage because we haven't got any other boxes we could put it in. 31 or 32 is going to be green in the middle. Now, the trouble is I can't apportion these between yellow and purple. I know I'm thinking around this problem a lot rather than actually getting to it, to doing any numbers, but honestly, I think this is quite important. And I just need some clarity in my head. Right, oh look, there's 11 as well. 11 is not in any of these pairings. And 11 is more than 1 cell. So does that mean 11 has to be orange? I think it does. I think it does. I'm making 11 orange. I think that's fair enough. So these 2 cages are 23 and 11. They add up to 34. These 2 single cells add up to 11 to make the box add up to 45. So they're 9, 2, 8, 3 or 7, 4. Oh, that is an annoying bunch of possibilities. And, by the way, although it's likely that 11 is the small cage, it could be the big cage. In fact, by Sudoku, there is a 1 in the big cage, but you could make up 11 out of 1, 2, 3, 5 and 23 out of 9, 8, 6. I wonder if that's what's going to happen. You see, I don't think I can go much further with theory now. That's really annoying. I'm going to have to do some practice and try and get some numbers in the grid. And I'm really stuck about where to do that. Okay, I'm not stuck because I think I worked out. Yeah, the blue cages, we know two of them. They are 1727, the blue boxes. One of them includes, obviously, the one that's already pasted in, and either 17 and 27 or 19 and 25. That's two of the blue cages, but none of those, the 19 and 25 cannot be this lot or this lot because the two cell cage wouldn't work. So this box has the 19 and 25, and the little one can't be 25 because it's 3 cells. The most 3 cells can add up to is 24. So that is 19. This one is 25. I'm putting these corner marks in to remind me of the totals. One of these cages does add up to 17, and the other cage in its box adds up to 27. But then we have to apportion one of the bigger groups to blue. Oh, that's weird. Now, these little cages, they are 2, 4, or 8, and they're on the diagonal. That's uninteresting in a way because they already had to be different from each other by the rule. And the big cages in their box are either 37, 41, or 43 as a result. In the purple, well, we have 7 cell cages. They're totaling somewhere between 28, the sum of 1 to 7, or 42, the sum of 3 to 9. But annoyingly, that lets them be any of these values. Okay, in this central box, we've got 31 or 32. These other cells add up to 14 or 13. Oh, but these other cells, we know they add up to 11. And these add up to 14 or 13. Why do we know what these add up to? Let's just think about the small digits. 11 could be 2, 9, 8, 3, or 7, 4. 13 or 14 here could be 9, 5, 8, 5, or 9, 4. Oh, hang on. This pair that add up to 11, they're going to use an even digit. Yes, that's brilliant. Right, the even digits available for 1 cell cages are 2, 4, and 8. 6 is not available. And these 2 orange cages are going to use up one of the 2, 4, or 8. Well, the 2 yellow single cell cages are going to use up the other ones. There are no 1 cell even digits available for this box, and therefore the 2 digits add up to an even number because they're both odd. Oh, there is maths in this, isn't there? And they must be a 5-9 pair adding to 14. Oh, am I not in there? Sorry. Probably done something in the... No, I haven't. Okay. That's a 5-9 pair. This green cage is 31 because 45 minus the 14 is 31. Right. The green cage is 31. I'm going to mark that on my spreadsheet. The green cage is 31. Now, I'm going to delete this 13 from the list, because now we know these are pairs in, mostly in purple and yellow, these pairs. Oh, well, hang on. We've used 5, 9. We've used 2, 4, and 8. The other available single-digit cages are 7 or 3, and one of those is going to have to go into a 2-cell cage. 7 or 3. One of them is going to go up here. in a pair that adds up to 11. So this is either a 3-8 pair or a 4-7 pair. 2 must be on this line. So 43 and 2 is definitely a yellow pair. Yeah, so I highlight those and make them yellow. I don't think I've been consistent with my colouring methods. Oh no, I just haven't completed colouring of 5 and 9, which I can do as green, because they are green. Maybe this is going to help. We've either got 4-7 or 3-8 in orange. That's not really going to help. So 43 was a yellow cage. 41 would leave a 4 in the middle. I don't know. What are these 2-cell cages in blue? What are they? One of them is 17. One of them is a 9-8 pair. One of these two is a 9-8 pair. That digit can't be a 9 because one of those is a 9-8 pair looking at that cell. So we've actually got big digits in the puzzle that aren't ones. We've placed 5 and 9. Right, the other pair of these that is not 17, is it 16? Is 29, 16 a blue cage? Or is it 13? But it could even be 8, 7, 4, or it couldn't be 4 or 3 actually, because they would need a 1 in the box to get in the cage. That's not possible. Could it be 7 or 8? Yeah, I think it could, annoyingly. Although not here, actually, where you can't put a low odd digit in. But that's annoyingly by the by. I need to think of something that is going to determine colours. So we've had yellow. Well, maybe it's just about these totals. This one couldn't be... Well, we know one of these is 9, 7 and blue. That's what we know. Oh. No, do we know that? Or have I... No, one of them's 9, 8. That's what I remember we knew. One of them's 9, 8, adding up to 17. That's it. 17 is blue. In this cage, we've got 19 and 20. In this box, we've got 19 and 25. In one of these, we've got 17 and 27. Yeah, it doesn't really help with the others. Is the diagonal any use? It doesn't feel like it is. Oh, crumbs. Okay, let me try and think of something to get me unstuck now. It's to do with 3, 4, 7, and 8. One of these 2-cell cages has to add up to 3, 4, 7, or 8. Have I really got any way of determining that? If it was 3, it must be either there or there, a 1-2 pair. If it was 4, same thing, a 1-3 pair. If it's 7, it can't be here, but it could be a 2-5 pair or a 1-6 pair there. It could be 3, 4 here. It could be any pair there. Yeah, this is not it. This is not it. I'm sorry, I feel like I've made some good progress and I feel like I've got a really useful list, but I don't know what to do with it. Okay, let's think about what ifs. If this was a 37 and an 8, or that one, then you can't use 8 up here. This would be 4, 7. And then 3 is going to have to be a 2-cell cage. in one of these places being a 2-1 pair. If 2 is in one of, no, if 8 is in one of these cells. Ah, I think this might be it. This might be it, you know. If 8 is in one of these cages, no, that's a 4-7 pair. I was thinking these cages were going to end up being 1-3 and 1-2, and you could never put a 1 in the central box, and that's not. That's not going to happen. In fact, where is 1 in the central box? It's in one of those cells. 1 is what I was trying to type. Is there any Sudoku I can do at the moment with 1s? 1's in one of those cells, one of those cells, one of these 4. One of those 3. If 1 was in this cage, that would be a 1. And at that point, 1 wouldn't be in any other 2-cell cage. Is that interesting? I don't know. I don't know. I wish I knew. I don't know. I've got to find a way to unstick this. We need a 2-cell cage that adds up to 3, 4, 7 or 8. One of them somewhere. Oh, so the other 2-cell cages, we're only allowed 1 that adds up to 3, 4, 7 or 8. The other 2-cell cages are going to add up to... There is a 17 somewhere that is, yeah, one of these 2 is a 9-8 cage. That's right. And then the other 2-cell cages are going to add, one of them is a 16 cage, a 9-7 pair. And that is, oh, is it blue? Could be. I don't know. And one of them is a 13 cage. One of these 2-cell cages is definitely a 13 cage. So one of them might be 16. One of them, well, we know one of them's 17. One of them's 13. One of them is 16. Because where else can that cage go? Oh, well, that's quite important. One of these cages is a 16 cage. And one of them's a 13 cage. And one is a 17 cage. So that's quite a lot of 9s being spread around in them. And one of them is a low value, 8, 7, 4 or 3. Now, how can I resolve which is which? Blue is a 17. Can blue also be a 16? Then these 2 would be 9, 8 and 9, 7. And what happens to the digits? If 9 is in there, 9 has to be in one of these cells. If 9's in there, 9 has to be in one of these cells. It could be in one of the 2-cell cages adding up to 13. It can't be in the other one. Oh, there's something going on here. I don't get it. Oh, the diagonal. The diagonal's got more interesting since we got this 5 and 9. 9, 7 and 5 on the diagonal have to go in these places. Along with one other digit, which could be 1. Well, what are these cells on the diagonal then? They're not 9, 7 or 5. And they're not whatever the 2 cell digits that go in here are. I don't know. I don't think that's doing anything. It almost feels like it is, but I can't quite get at it. Oh, this is either a 23 or an 11 cage. If it's 11, it doesn't have a 1 in it. It would have to be 2, 4, 5. And these would be a definite 3-8 pair. If it's a 23 cage, it's 9, 8, 6. And these are a definite 7, 4 pair. Well, that doesn't resolve anything. That's really annoying as well. Oh, is that how these pair up? This pair is either 3, 8 or 7, 4. Oh. This pair is either 3, 8 or 7, 4. Isn't that taking too much out of the mix? Isn't that taking one of... No, it's not taking one of these out, because then you use the other. How are we going to get all of 8, 7, 4 and 3 into this puzzle? We're going to get one of them into these cells, not 2, because there's nowhere else 2 can go. We're going to get 2 of them into there. So the one that goes in here must be a pair with the 8, 4 in making 11. So the remaining, the low value 2 cell cage either adds up to 3 or 7, not 4 or 8. If it's 3 or 7, it's 1, 2 here or here. Sorry, if it's 3, it's 1, 2 here or here. If it's 7, it could be 3, 4 there or there, but it could be anything here. And either of 2 possibilities there. That's not enough information. Am I meant to be able to use the 19 and 25 sums? They look so random and unappealing, I'm afraid. I just don't think there's anything I can do with that. I need one more parameter in this puzzle. One of these digits is a 2. The other one is a 4 or an 8. And one of these is a 4 or an 8. That's why these can't add up to 4 or 8. That's just proving what I just worked out a different way a moment ago. What then? What then can I do? One of these... Somewhere there's a 9-8 pair. And if we said one of them is a 16 sum. Oh, the 16 sum is not yellow. But could it, is it potentially blue? Ah, okay. The 16 sum is not yellow because, well, actually, nor's the 32. Yeah, the other yellow is either 37 or 41. One of them is 43. The other one's either 37 or 41. Now, I don't know. Have I stumbled on anything here? I don't think I have, actually. 41 or 37. 32 and 29. One of them can be blue, but one of them at least is purple. Purple has to... I don't know. I really would like to prove that 29 has to be purple. I don't think I can do it. Why does 29 have to be purple? It couldn't be here because you'd put 9, 7 there and that would clash. But that could be purple 9, 7, although then 9 and 7 would have to go in these cells. And this would have to add up to 13. Well, hang on, this is quite interesting. So if 2916 is a purple box, then 3213 is the last blue box. That would add up to 13 because of 9 or 7 being forced into it. Or would it? No, it could be the 17. It could be 9, 8. Oh, bother. Yeah, that conclusion was all wet. It was wrong. One, two, three, four, six, eight. I mean, is it interesting that 5, 7 and 9 get placed in those cells on the diagonal? It just doesn't feel like it's enough to me. Sorry, I'm nearly there. I hope I'm still going about this puzzle roughly in the right way, because this has taken quite a while and I'm not quite making the progress. I just need to decide some colours. And it's really all a question of whether 4 or 8 appears in one of these cells. If it's 8 that appears in one of these, that's a 7-4 pair. 8, 2, 7, 4. Then we have to have a 2-cell cage adding to 3. And that either involves 1, 2 there or 1, 2 here. And then you get a 1 either there or there. That just doesn't feel interesting somehow. 1, 2 would be in one of these. Is there any problem with that? I can't see why there is. Is there a problem? This is crazy now. What, 13 and 16, they're going to be 2-cell cages. And 17 is going to be a 2-cell cage. Oh, are these limited on the high side? They're not, are they? I don't think they are. They can, I mean, I never used the total of 39, which is the maximum for blue. That means that the 41 cage is either yellow or purple. If it was purple, it would have to be here, because that can't be a 1-3 pair. The 1-3 pair would be here. You'd get a 1 here. That's very constrained somehow. Is that very constrained? Purple would be 41. And therefore the 2 yellows would be 43 and 37, using the 8 sum. Hang on, something's gone wrong with that. Something's wrong with that. What's wrong with that? If purple was the 41 cage, blue can't be the 41 cage, because the blue boxes, the blue cages aren't big enough to be 41. If purple was the 41 cage, then 4 would be purple. That would be a 4, this would be a 4 cage. Those would be a 2 and an 8 cage, and there wouldn't be any even digits left for here. Oh, this is simple. This is absolutely simple, and I haven't been able to understand it. But now I've realised that 41. Oh, no, there's no possibility of 41 playing with 3. That's my problem. That's my problem. I've left in 41 and 3 as a possible pairing, and it doesn't exist anymore, because the 44 add-ups are in blue, and the cages are not big enough to sustain 41, and I never understood that. So I can take 3 off the list as a pairing, and that means 3 is not in blue, and it's not in purple, and it must be in orange, and that is a 3-8 pair. And now we can take 8 out of those 2 cells, and yellow is doing a 43-2 pair and a 41-4 pair. That is yellow. Right, this is going to help. Now we might be able to solve it. And my goodness, I haven't understood that very well. Okay, now orange includes 3 and 8. I don't know if I'm going to find the same orange color. Sorry if I don't. Is it that one? I mean, it's close enough. I think it was. Okay, so orange is 3 and 8. 7 is the missing small number that is now in a 2-cell cage. It's not here because there's no low odd digit that can go in there. This is not actually all that helpful. I didn't want 7 to be the missing cage, but 737. Now, what are the 2-cell cages we're going to make? 7, 17, 16, and 13. Are any of these totals impossible? 37, oh, let's get rid of that 8, that's gone. So 37, 32, 29, and 27. None of them are impossible. As long as we make these 2-cell cages into cages that total 17, 16, 13, and 7. Then we are winning. Now, does the diagonal, has that, these digits now are from only 1, 3, 6, or 8. Because 2, 4 have been used on the diagonal. This box has used 9, 7, 5. That one can't be 1 or 3. This one can't be 1. That's a bit of Sudoku. Does that affect the 2-cell cages? Not really, no. The 17 cage. Oh, the 7. Oh, we know what adds up to 45. 37 and 7 only adds up to 44. 37 and 7 are a blue cage. Why am I so slow at understanding the work I've actually done? 37 and 7 are a blue cage. One of these is a 7 cage, and we know it's not this one. It's this one. It's a 3-4 pair, because it can't use 1 or 5. This one can't use 1, 3, or 5. Right, that was the 7 cage. Now we know that both 32, 29, 13, and 16 are all purple numbers. And we've coloured the whole list. When I remember where to colour it, I know I'm so slow at this. Right. So 16 and 13 are purple. This is not 16. It can't be 9, 7. That is, this is a 13 sum, which is either 4, 9 or 5, 8 here. And this sum is 17. That's a 9, 8 pair. This digit becomes a 6. Right. Now there's not, oh, this can't be 1, 2, 3, 5 anymore, and this can't be 9, 8, 6. So this cage adds up to 11 up here, and it doesn't have a 1 or a 3, so it's 2, 4, 5. This one is 1, 6, 7, 9, and I'm hoping they add up to the right total, 23. Yeah. I really barely have to do any more maths. Just Sudoku. As long as I make that cage add up to 19 and this one add up to 25, one of these are 2 and one of these are 4, everything else must now fall out. So I don't need the list. 3, 4 pair, looking at that cell, it's an 8. And this isn't. 9, 7. 9, 7, we need a 7 there. 8, 9, 7, 5, 6, 3. Got 1, 2, and 4 to place in the row. Oh, goodness, this takes me so long. Will I finish in an hour? That's an interesting question. Don't know. Diagonal. Mustn't forget the diagonal. All the even digits are placed. 1 has to be there or there. That's a bit strange. 7 can't be in these cells. Okay, let's just try and do some more Sudoku. Sudoku is my only friend. 8 in box 4. There it is. 5 and 6 are in these cells and in these cells. That 2-4 pair on the diagonal both see this cell. That doesn't look like it's any help at the moment. These are 3 from 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1 has to be here in box 4. So it's not here in box 5. Is it on the diagonal? I still don't know. I claimed earlier that 1 was in one of those cells, but it could be in the middle. Probably is, actually. 3, 4, 5, 8. This digit is 1 or 2 by elimination. And this is 2, 3, or 4. Might as well pencil mark where I can. 7. If that was an 8-5 pair, that would be 7 and that would be 8-5. It's possible. This 19 and 25, I really want those cage totals to help me, and I don't know what they're doing. They're not helping at all. Oh, 1 is now in one of those 2 cells by Sudoku. 7, 8, 9, 1. These are from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not actually doing anything. It just doesn't look like there's enough information. I haven't forgotten any rules or impacts of the rules I've understood, have I? That would be so annoying. It's quite possible. It's quite possible I have. 1, there's a 1 in one of these 3 cells. Oh, look, 1 and 1 are placing 1 in one of those cells. So this is a 2. Hello, Sudoku. That's a 4. This is 3. And that is 1 in the middle. 4, 5, 6 there. This is a 2, 3 pair. This is a 4, 5, 6 triple, and that digit is a 2. Now, that hasn't sorted out the 2, 4 pairs. 6, 1, 8 though, and 2, 4. So 1 can't go on the diagonal here, it must go here. 1 in this box is off the diagonal. It's out of those cells, but it's now got 2 possible dispositions in the remaining 3 boxes. That's a pity. 4 there is looking at this pair, which is now a 5, 8 pair. 3 in the column has to be at the bottom. And that's a 2, 6, 9 triple. Now I can make this a 7, it's a naked single, and that's a 5, 8 pair. And this is 2, 4, 7, and this is 1, 6, 9, with the 1 not at the bottom. 7 has been placed in this 23 cage, which is a bit of a surprise, and doesn't actually do much else. 7 can't be there or there. There must be a 7 in a corner on the diagonal. I'm not even going to pencil mark that because I wouldn't understand that pencil mark later if this takes a while, as I still think it might. Still haven't approached the 19 and 25 in blue. This hasn't changed. It still sees 2 and 4, but not much else. 6, 1, 8. Right, let's find some sort of triple or something going on somewhere. Yeah, oh, nearly. 2, 3, 4, 5, I was hoping. Not quite. How can this all resolve? It doesn't feel like there's enough. It really doesn't to me. This digit is 5 or 9 because it sees 3, 6, 1, 8 and the 2, 4 pair on the diagonal and 7. Oh, well, this, Yeah, okay, where's 4 in this row? Yeah, that's great. Where's 4 in this row? One of those two cells. This digit is now a 2. And that places a 4 on the other bit of the diagonal. That takes 4 out of several cells, actually. That 2, that takes 2 out of a couple of cells. Now I've got a 6-9 pair in this row. 2, 1, 6, 9, 7. That can't be 4 or 8. That's 3 or 5. And this is the only place for 8 in row 2. 5 there puts 9 in this cell that started this off. That puts 9 in the 4-cell orange cage. The 1-6 pair makes this one a 2, and that a 6, and this a 9. In this row, we need 3, 4, and 8 still. On the diagonal, we need 3, 7, and 5. That can't be a 3. This can't be a 7. The 3 on the diagonal is in one of those two cells, and look what they're both looking at. This digit, which can't be a 3 therefore. Oh, that's one of those diagonal moves that you could not spot forever, but it's very helpful today. Right, that's not a 4 now. 3 there. Didn't resolve anything on the diagonal, but it did resolve some other digits. Has it had a lasting impact though? 4, 8, 9, 2, 1. These are from 3, 5, 7, 6. Oh, 7 and 9 here are done. 9, oh gosh, I don't want to lose these cage totals. I know, I'm going to shove them down here instead, 19 and 25. And here I'm going to put a 9 in. That's a normal pencil mark. We've also got 8, 8. There's an 8 and a 2 in these cells. In fact, this one is 5 or 6. That's all it can be. Right, if that was a 9, this pair would add up to 10 and would be 3, 7 or 4, 6. Both look possible. If that was a 9... Oh, yes, that doesn't work, I think. Right, we've worked out that there's an 8 in one of these cells. That's Sudoku. If that was a 9 in the 25 cage with an 8, the other 3 digits in the cage would have to add up to 8. And they'd need a 1, but they can't have 1. So that's not a 9. We've found the 9. It is in the 19 cage, and these two cells add up to 10. And they can't be 1, 9 or 2, 8. So they're either 3, 7 in that order or 6, 4 in that order. Oh, that felt like good pencil marking, but it hasn't actually cracked anything. Now I'm going to remove the cage totals. I'm just going to remember that these add up to 10. 2 and 8 are in these cells. We've worked that out. 7. That can't be 9, since we got the 9. The diagonal, is that suddenly doing anything? Nothing else. This column, 4, 2, 8, 9, 1. This digit is 3, 5, 6 or 7. That is an annoying range of a wealth of possibilities. I'm still struggling to believe that this is going to resolve in a single manner, because there's just no other, there's just Sudoku to do. Okay, let's have a look at this column. 4, if that was 2, we'd get 5, 6, 1. These would be from 3, 8, 9. If it's a 3, that doesn't do anything instead. 6 is in one of those, that's no use. These adding up to 10. We've got 8, 2 there. 1, 9, 3, 7. What about this row? I don't know. Oh gosh, Mark, come on. 8, 9, 7, 4 in this column. There's only one place. It's there. That's not a 4. 8, 9, 7, 4. So 5 in this column has to be in one of those yellow cells. And now this corner can't be a 5 and is a 7. And that can't be a 7, so that's a 3, 5 pair. This is a 6. That's a 7. This can't be 6. This can't be 7. So we've got that last pair that made 10. 4, 6, 9 here. Right. This is now a 3, 7 pair, I think. I think that's right. This is a 2, 8, 5 triple. And this digit is a 4. And I can do 5 and 6 in there. And I can do 7 and 3 here. That's not a 7. This is not a 3, this is a 5, and that's the diagonal complete. And that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spot. Light as I go through the hour mark. But we're going along nicely. We're going to finish now. That 5 is looking here. That's looking here. That is going to put an 8 right here. In this column, that's great. 9 and 8. Now we need a 9 right there in box 9. 4, 3, 8, 1, 9, 7 looking down. That's a naked 2. 5 in the other corner. That's 6 and 5. We can do 3 and 2. 1 and 6. Can't do them in box 3. 6 there is solving this digit. It is going to finish. Surprise, surprise. That's a 1. That does fix 6 and 1. Here we go. 3 and 6 down here. And that is the solution to key performance parameters. Congratulations on solving a powerful primal puzzle. It was indeed powerful. It was pretty tough. Gosh, not that it matters, but it does really. Thank you so much for watching. Very tricky stuff, but greatly enjoyed. I'll see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.